All right. I think we're good. Oh, that's. I was wondering why I was hearing an echo, and it's because I had my mic coming through my headphones, but now I don't. So, yeah, we're gonna let's get the chat popped up here. Going to go over this little clip that I made a short out of earlier, and just I mean I've heard this before from like hardcore liberals and Democrats in Congress, but today on the 5, Geraldo said that AR in AR-15 stands for automatic rifle. Yeah. Some people have said it stands for assault rifle, and both of those are untrue. No, the AR in AR-15, in case you didn't know, stands for Armalite Rifle, the company that made it in the 1950s before they sold it to Colt for distribution, or vice versa. Actually, I might be having my history. The reason that tonight's podcast is going to be very quick tonight is because I'm exhausted, so you're going to forgive me if I just muck that up. Anyway, let's dive right into the clip. It's a short clip. It's going to be a short podcast. I'm just going to break this down and get out of here, but I wanted to film something for you guys because I'm trying to do these twice a week. And here it is, the dumbest thing I've ever heard from Geraldo Rivera.
Legitimate reason, other than maybe sport shooting, if you're a registered person in one of those high-end sport clubs.
What the fuck is he even talking about right now? So, before he said that, this is where I actually filmed this on my TV because I saw it on my way home from work. I was listening to The 5, and the only shows I listen on Fox News anymore are The 5, Tucker, and Gutfeld. Those three and those three only. The rest of that whole network has sort of just started leaning left. They... a lot of them turned on Trump. Hannity turned on Trump. And they're just starting to lean into the pressure, I think, that a lot of, fake news networks go through. So I was listening to The 5. I heard this, and I made it home in time to hit the Start Over feature on Hulu, which I think is awesome. And I ended up filming it on my TV because you can't screen record Hulu. I know this has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but I just thought it was relevant to explain the whole story for absolutely no reason. Anyway, so before he says that dumb shit, he's saying that the only reason that you would need an AR-15 is if you're one of those sports shooters in one of those sports shooting clubs. So he starts off just proving he doesn't know shit about fuck. This is a sports shooter in one of those sports shooting clubs. I am an avid, frequent gun club and gun range participant, and I don't even know what he's talking about. Like, the closest thing I can think of is, like, maybe, like, skeet shooting, like, because you go there for... But nobody takes an AR-15 to the sports club for sports shooting. Anyway, but he thinks that's the only reason that you should have one. And then I think I got this in the clip. He's about to say something about hunting. Then I'll tell you a little story.
There's no legitimate reason to have an AR-15.
False. I'll give you my legitimate reasons right now. Number 1, the Second Amendment says I can. That's the only reason you need, but I'll even give you a couple of more. Home defense. AR-15 is a versatile, great weapon for home defense, right? You get one 16-inch barrel. It's good for moving through, tight areas. You put a RMR on it or a holographic. It's just, don't come into my house. Don't try to take my shit. Or, play the fuck around and find out game. You don't want to find out. Third reason, AR-15 is a comfortable weapon. It's great for beginners. The reason that a lot of people like it is the pistol grip and the feel of it. It's great for learning on because it's basically it's almost like a 22 round with a little bit more powder behind it. So it's essentially almost a small caliber bullet. It's not like a 7.62 or 300 Blackout. But, what the fuck do I know? I only have like 5 of them. No, 4. I got rid of 4. I have 4. And then he says the dumbest shit before the dumbest shit. This.
You can't shoot deer with it.
The fuck you can't. The very first time I ever went hunting, I moved to Texas. I grew up in Boston. I lived in Boston, so hunting wasn't really a thing. I moved to Texas and immediately got into guns, started snatching them up wherever I could. And first time I went hunting with an AR-15. My buddy had an AR-15 with a night scope on it, and he had one without a night scope on it. He used the scoped one for deer, and then when it got dark, switch over to the night scope. You can definitely shoot a deer with it. A lot of people do. I run a 6.5 Creedmoor now, but yeah, no, it's a great gun for deer. I still shoot hogs with it. I have a Sightmark Wraith night scope on my 19 barrel AR St. Victor. It's a great gun and a great night scope, and you definitely go hunting with them.
It has no practical significance. What it does is it machifies.
Machifies. Not even going to give that anymore.
If that's a word.
It's not a fucking word, Geraldo. You're talking out of your fucking ass right now, and you're just trying to make anything that sounds like whatever incessant ramblings are going on in your head. Any excuse whatsoever, because everybody just says AR-15s are bad.
It makes macho the people who possess it. Oh, look at me.
I mean, I do feel pretty macho, but not because of my AR-15. It's because of my... Just kidding.
I'm a big deal. Rifle. And then it's not a rifle. Yes, it's
Greg.
A rifle. It is a...
Now there it is, right? I'm going to replay this part at least 2 times because I just want to break it down as many times as possible. Greg Gutfeld's like, it's a rifle. And he's like, it's not a rifle. And he's like, no, it's a rifle.
What does AR stand for?
What does AR stand for? Armalite rifle.
It is an automatic rifle.
It's insane that people just don't fucking know what the fuck they're talking about, but they're talking about shit like they know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like, so the argument that the left gives is men can't talk about women's reproductive rights because they're not women. They don't know anything about women. Well, that's not true. Men can learn about women's there's gynecologists that are men, right? People can literally fucking, learn about anything. Like, gender has nothing to do with it. Just like Geraldo could learn about guns before he starts fucking talking about it. But I'm going to use the liberal argument that if you don't know shit about fuck as far as guns goes, keep your fucking mouth shut. Because you just end up looking like a fucking moron on live TV.
No, that's not what it is.
That's not what
all I know is that AR-15s have no place in American society other than sport clubs. Legitimate reasons.
Sport clubs. I'm gonna do an episode on 2A and go like deeper into it. This is just a clip that I pulled off today, and like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I just threw this episode in just to fill a slot. As you can see, I'm exhausted. I'm not even speaking right, but I want to go real quick to this last part. Just play it a couple more times so you can really let it sit in there. Like,
it is an automatic rifle. It is an automatic rifle. a machine.
What does AR stand for?
It is automatic rifle.
So, Geraldo said it's not a rifle. And then Greg Gutfeld asked him what it stands for. And you heard it clear as day. He said automatic rifle. So according to Geraldo, it's not a rifle. It's an automatic rifle, which is a fucking rifle. According to, facts, it's an Armalite rifle. Armalite, like I said earlier, the company that made it. But anyway, that's the episode. 10 minutes. Easy. I actually dragged that out as much as I possibly could. Just wanted to give you guys something. But let me know your thoughts in the comments if you agree with me that Geraldo should never, ever talk about guns. And you see this all the time, and it's just gotta stop with all these fucking Democrats and liberals talking about weapons when they clearly don't know anything about weapons. Like, I was raised in Boston, didn't have access to a gun, but I've always been a fan. And I got my first gun in Boston when you could keep it in your home before I moved to Texas, just a pistol. I could go to the range with somebody that had an LTC. But then I moved to Texas, and it was like the fucking freedom hit me so hard that I just started collecting. And one thing I think that a lot of people who don't like guns has in common is they don't know shit about guns. So learn about guns and then start talking. Until then,